So I was recently on Instagram and I was scrolling through, even though I knew I shouldn't be. And there was this woman who caught my eye and she was advertising for her outfit on Instagram and talking about how great it was, how she has like 3 sets of these outfits now and she couldn't live without them. And so, of course, my used to be shopaholic self got trapped into this. It got sucked into looking at what she was trying to get me to buy. And yes, I did end up going and really thinking about buying these outfits that she was trying to advertise for. I think most of us have heard of body dysmorphia, where you'll look at yourself in the mirror, you think you look a certain size, and yet that's just not reality. Our brains are playing tricks on us. Well, our brains are really good at playing tricks on us. And often when we're on these sites like Instagram and TikTok, where it's just these quick, tiny flashes of people's lives that we're seeing, we start to think, oh, their house is always perfect. Oh, their house is always put together. Look how great it looks. And in reality, we know that's not true, right? Like if you looked around my house right now, you'd see a cord sticking out behind the TV that, yeah, sure, doesn't look great. You'd see a bag that my husband meant to take to work and he forgot. So that's going to sit there for another day. We have things, right? Like just normal house things that get stuck and left, and weird things like my dog's diapers laying on the ground. And yet we think, because we're scrolling through very quickly these people's lives, that they somehow don't have that. We start to get trapped in house dysmorphia. And so I thought today, as somebody who is on social media, who does share about my home and my life, I thought we could do a little bit of a deep dive into how we get so stuck on this house dysmorphia and how to get ourselves back out of it and face the reality that our houses aren't going to be picture perfect. So I follow this one nurse on Instagram and I love her so much, but she talked about one time how one of her friends is like a mom Instagram blogger kind of person. She didn't say who any of these people were, but then she also talked about how she had another friend who did engagement and baby Instagram reels, and she said both of them. She said the mom Instagrammer would rent a house a week every month and would film this pretend house and have her nanny bring over her kids so she could film this Instagram reels that she would do for the month. How unrealistic is that? And yet we watch this thinking that these are normal people's lives, and they just aren't, okay? None of it is real. And so when we see these perfect houses, what I've had to step back and say in my own mind is most likely this is somebody's house who maybe their kids are out of the house and they got to do this full clean and so it's all perfect, or they're just not showing me the parts of their real life that we all know is going to happen, right? We're going to have cords, we're going to have bags, we're going to have the soccer ball, and we're going to have 2 balloons sitting in the living room right now because my daughter was playing with them. Like that is reality. And that's really where we start to feel this social media fuel on the fire of feeling unhappy with what we have, feeling unhappy with our lives because we are comparing ourselves to something that isn't actually reality. Studies show that 62% of people said that they were more influenced to buy things when they were watching social media, something that people shared or showed in their house, than those that weren't influenced. And so they said that was around $3,600 a year more on things just because somebody else had them and they thought their house looked perfect. And where I don't think there's anything wrong with sharing things that you really enjoy in your house and sharing what really works for you. I think that helps us all out to kind of know other people's opinions. The problem becomes when we think that we have to have everything that we see online because somebody else has it. And we start to think that more is always better. And that's where me, as a retired shopaholic, a recovering shopaholic, I have to remind myself that just because I see it on somebody else doesn't mean that I actually need it. In reality, the great thing is that I can really appreciate the skirt and I can really appreciate the cute side table and all of the cute jewelry that somebody has without actually needing it myself. And when that reality that realization finally hit me, it opened my eyes so much that often I was that person. I was at 62%. I was easily influenced by what other people said. And where there was nothing wrong with them sharing what they thought about what they had, the problem was that I thought I always needed it and I always needed more. And that's why I was unhappy. But when you step back and you realize that on social media, people are showing only a small snippet of their life. They're not showing the chaos that is in their home usually, or the things that get left out, or the things that get played with and broken. They're not sharing that part of their tiny snippet of their life because nobody would want to watch that, right? But we have to remember that these are real people. This is real situations, and that most likely they have a closet overflowing, stuffed with clothes that they're not wearing and they're not super happy with. So is this one outfit that, like when I got sucked in the other day, is this outfit really going to be something that I'm going to enjoy? Is it something that matches other clothes that I already have? Is it something that I can see myself wearing all of the time and really enjoying? Or am I only buying it because somebody else has it? Somebody else said they liked it, not ever thinking about how this would affect me. Where would I keep it? Would I want to clean it? That's the moment that I think this kind of switch happened in my head of, I don't mind being, told and given advice about what people enjoy because it's great to hear other people's opinions, but I don't actually need all these things myself in order to be happy. I get to slowly pick and choose the things that I know will best impact my personal life. Okay, so if you're on the same page as me, just throw a heart down below. If you kind of understand you're getting where I'm coming from, hopefully I'm not going on some crazy tirade. But it really hit me hard just scrolling the other day and being so easily influenced by what other people had and it making me feel like I didn't have enough. And then stepping back and realizing that I did, that I was fine, that I could walk away from it and I could be perfectly happy with what I already had. So some of the things that really help me in these moments where I feel trapped by social media, I feel trapped into buying things that I don't really need, is that I realize that I'm able to step back and talk to myself in third person and reason with my own brain, right? Like I can step back and I can talk to my brain, who I call Susan, and I can say, honey, like, did you want this before you saw it? Do you really think that this is going to impact your life? Is this going to make my home feel safe and warm and easy to be in and easy to clean? Is that going to be what this is going to offer me? If not, am I just using this? Am I just comparing myself to other people? Am I feeling bad that maybe I don't feel like I have enough to be happy? Because often the second I shut the social media off, the second I get off the sites, I feel so much better. And so if you're getting trapped a lot by social media, just by ads in general, then I would say turn it off. Take the apps off of your phone, shut the phone down and walk away. Go read a book, go for a walk, go sit outside. Nature does an amazing thing for all of us. Put your feet in that grass and look for something beautiful outside that can kind of get you out of this mindset of lacking. Because I can guarantee you that if you have the basic necessities, food, water, shelter, safety, you're doing really well right now. You just might not know it because we're constantly being bombarded by being told we're not enough, we don't have enough, our house doesn't look perfect. And yet, if it's providing you safety and it's providing you the calm that you need from the storm outside, then you're doing really, really well. So this was just a little coffee chat of a reflection of a little tidbit of my life and how I, even after all these years of decluttering and organizing and stopping myself from impulse buying, how I still can easily get sucked back into thinking that my house is not good enough, that I don't have enough stuff, that my clothes aren't good enough, that my daughter's stuff isn't good enough. I can still be pulled into this stuff, guys. Like, hashtag not perfect at all. But there are definitely ways that you can step back out of it. And even when I still make mistakes to this day and I buy things that I don't really want, I return them. and I send them back, or I declutter them and I get them back out of my life. And I always learn something from that lesson, that maybe I'm just on social media too much, or maybe I'm comparing myself to somebody else when I don't need to be, because I'm doing really good for myself right now. I know that sounds so full of it, right? But I'm doing really well for myself. I don't need to compare myself to anybody else. And that's a great place to be at, you know? Like, I'm not lacking shelter, safety, family, care, food, water. I'm not lacking that. So I can be perfectly happy with enjoying what I already have. And I hope you guys can too. I hope you can be there as well. And I'm very interested to see how many of us can relate to that whole idea of house dysmorphia, or even just like clothing dysmorphia, that we just don't have enough, because I definitely could when I started thinking about it. All right, if you've enjoyed this video, then please watch one of these right here, and I wish you guys all the very, very best.